Yay, Pablo. I love your
I'm a
energy.
lead.
I love your Monday morning energy, Pablo. That's
It's fabricated. Not gonna lie, I'm trying to push it. Fake it
that
till you make it, right?
that's the joke. That's the game.
I have found, I mean, this is just life advice from someone who's definitely not young anymore. And that is like I try to overextend myself and try to crush it really hard on Monday. And if I do that, it makes the rest of the week just run smoothly. You know what I mean? So start really, really hard, and that way the rest of the week is not like catching up. You're being proactive. Life advice from someone who should retire soon after Subconscious. All right, guys. Well, good morning, happy Monday. Great to see all you happy faces. We are doing our Subconscious stand-up. It's December 16th, at least here in Chicago. Let's start from the very top left. 2 minutes to provide your stand-up update. If you want to do a demo, just say that you want to do a demo. We're going to hold that until the end of the session. If you're grateful, please say that because we love that. And we'll begin with Ambush.
Good morning, guys. Happy Monday. So, I'm grateful for my friends. We had a nice dinner over the weekend. And for my updates, I'm working on the DAG representation right now. And I made a couple of more graphs in Neo4j. And for the rest of the week, I want to complete this task and work on the graph frag and implement it soon. Yeah.
Can you show us a demo of what you did so far?
Yeah, sure. I can show some graphs towards the end. So, yeah,
Nice,
sure. Thank you, guys.
All
nice
right,
talking,
Ashley,
Bush.
take it away. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just encouraging him.
Um, so for me this week, just working on um, learning some more tactics and strategies for running demos or, getting demo contacts and follow-ups. Meeting with Pablo for how to log all this stuff better in HubSpot. I do have access now to GitHub, so I can now move a lot of my tasks and things there where it's relevant. So yeah, just kind of onboarding 2.0 this week.
That's right. Outreach, onboarding. We're going to be hunting, right? We're going to have that reflected, and we're going to be closing deals. And well, I'll save that for my update, but I will pass that over to Avi.
Um, I am grateful for I guess for the responsiveness. Like whenever we get an issue, now that we are getting some feedback from live users, I really like how quickly we're getting back to them. Um, last week as we were onboarding new people, people were having issues with payments, with billing, with whatever, and that was turned around instantly. So I want to say thank you to Shar, Hadi, Mahdi, everyone else who was helping with that. Um, I'm grateful for the feedback we got from our investor update. We got I think something like 20 new users last week after we sent our investor update. And the private feedback I'm getting is people are very excited about the market simulator. Um, so thank you Florian, thank you Ambuj, thank you Tatevik, thank you Subodh for all that work around the market simulator. Um, and then I guess thank you Subodh for reading my mind. I emailed Subodh this morning. I was like, hey, I have some ideas on things that might be helpful, and Subodh was like, yeah, they're already in the roadmap. Don't worry about it. So thank you for making it easy for me to not worry. Um, this week I am exclusively focused on the financial model, getting to inbox zero, and um, yeah, those are my big two priorities. Um, I Yeah, thank you Sarah for helping with inbox zero, and I'm preparing to tee up the seed round for for early next year. So I'm planting the seed this week, and we're getting some early indications that that we will be that early indications of interest, I should say, because I don't want to oversell it. Yeah.
All right, Florian, how do you follow that?
It'll be hard, but I'll try. Yeah, so this week I'm going to mostly focus on the attribute and level generation and tweaking prompts to try and make it more robust. I think specifically I'm going to focus on the prompts given by this one research paper in Get Smart called AI-assisted search for instrumental variables. I'm going to try and tweak it more so it works better in our setting and see if we get better results. Yeah, and other than that, I'll try playing around with other prompt, tuning and so on to see if we can improve the attributes and levels.
Wonderful. Any blockers? Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, Florian, if you could take a look at the when we generate the initial set of attributes and levels, and then when we put in new attributes and levels, I think those might be different pipelines because we're getting slightly different formatted attribute responses. So check into that if you can also.
Okay, yeah, I'll give it a look.
Yeah.
No blockers though.
It is different, Avi, because we don't pass the existing one. We simply say, here's the why question, and we're considering this new attribute. That requires a bit of coordination. It will gonna take a long, because we need to collect everything past so that the language model knows what already there so that it can generate a new one and then ensure at the same time it is sort of orthogonal to a large extent. And once everything's done, it will go to front end. We haven't done that because they have some issue in the front end just in terms of displaying and collecting. So once they are done, then we can do this back and forth between front and back end to really make it tight.
Nice. There's also a paper, Florian, about reverse thinking that you may want to check out regarding thinking about causality and attribute generation. I'll put the link in the paper in the chat. I mean, even if we just include the attribute in the attribute levels generation, I think that by itself would get us 90% of the way there. But whatever, you guys check it out.
All right, time for some magic. Maddie, that's your cue.
I hope my internet supports, but not sure. Yep. So, yeah, well, it was finally we fixed the Langsmith issue. It was right here in front of my eyes, but I didn't notice that, but now it's fixed.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Sorry. I didn't know there was a muted. Sorry.
Okay. And also worked on the payment issues. We had some issues like yeah, it was need to log out the user manually and all those things. And it's fine. It should be automatic thing. Yes, and also I work with Duplo Clouds on fixing the other issues. Like
Appreciate
one.
that,
Yep. Thank you.
No, feel free to finish. You're more important. Yeah.
Yeah, the issue is the Langsmith fixed the Docker issue. They fixed the Docker issue, and also the Shiny proxy issue is remaining. There was a blocker which I worked with them to fix it, the Shiny proxy issue.
Wait, sorry. So we got the. You're saying the Langsmith traces are working now?
Yes.
Amazing. And the concurrency in the R Shiny is working?
They set up the Shiny. The Shiny is not working yet. Or working to fix.
Okay, no worries. And you got the last thing was the Docker instance
Yeah.
with Duplo Cloud. What is that exactly?
So the you remember the execution time? Let me actually, yeah, I'll do this. Okay, the execution time, right? That when we run the doc was 20 minutes, running one experiment.
Right.
Now it's regular. When we run with doc, it takes 20 minutes.
Amazing. So this means we now have a path towards spending the Azure and GCP credits before they expire in May or in April.
Yes, so this helps everything, like easy onboarding and spending, easy scaling. Yeah.
Amazing. I'm so looking forward to running hundreds of experiments whenever you guys are ready. Amazing work, Madi. Those are huge blockers. That's really impactful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madi. I'll go next. He decided to be camera shy in his own stand-up. So we have our first official transaction in client. We are officially post-revenue company. And we have many other contracts that are way more lucrative, but money is now officially in the door. It will be easier to get money officially through the door now going forward. Special thanks to so many people, especially last week, Avi, who acted like a psychologist with me. Sarah continuing to make sure Avi pushes forward and handle all of his tasks and scheduling and all that stuff. Madi, Tushar, I mean, there's just so many in getting the checkout and having this latest release that works, and a checkout process that is also set up. So just thank you. Yeah, we move forward together, and I think this is a great shining moment to close last week. I also have 2 to 3 more. Hopefully that will close this week, and we're going to use the same platform, right? So they'll be able to go to the app and transact accordingly and then leverage the tool. Big win. Big win. Hunting, we are sending out offers. So I sent them special messages for the people that we want to send an offer to last Friday. I think we sent them the official formal offer as well. So that is a big win, but I'll be following up with them shortly to make sure that that is indeed the case. The goal is for them to actually start ramping up and onboarding sooner rather than later. So more details on that to come. We have another cohort of interviews for account execs, and that should be closing in soon, but it's pretty heavy of interviews this week. And once we're done, we're done. So I think one more week and we're going to be in good order. And working on content, working for onboarding, working to get them all ramped up, rules of engagement, all that good stuff. So Yeah. And then we have much love and excitement around social media and marketing to really ramp up our branding, our inbound, to ramp up events and webinars and all this jazz that I want to do. I think that'll be a big priority as we get forward. So getting organized around that. And that's it for me. Thanks, everyone. Very appreciative. Next week is actually this weekend was my mom's birthday. She was 70, which is a big number. So I'm feeling very grateful and warm that she's still here and I got to celebrate her. And I'll see her actually next week. And I'll pass it over now to Sarah.
Week, I'm grateful for the whole team, and right now I'm grateful for, well, my cat is sitting in the chair and it's really cute, so she's giving good vibes right now. I'm grateful for Superhuman, the tool. I started using that for the email and it's been making it a lot easier. What else? This week for goals, I think, well, for fundraising and grants, I think we should try to identify 10 grants a day and apply. Well, that's a lot, but we'll try. And then maybe identify 10 new investors, because then if we did that every day, that'd be like 50 a week. I don't know, what do you think about that, Bobby? But, and then daily posting every day, and then I think once we get interns, we can focus on like quality posting, but for now it's just like having something up and using the things that Bianca made over the summer, so that it's not going to waste. So if they don't work, then at least we can identify what doesn't work. And some of the stuff that we're working on. Subode.
So I think we mentioned in the beginning there are a couple of things which we plan to sort of get this before Christmas done, which will improve the overall quality of the product. So one thing is to get the latent class into analytics with the help of Tatavik, so that we can actually see meaningful ways of looking at the class and hence meaningful messaging. And then bit of tweaks into the survey so that that will improve the way people can read the feature importance graph and everything. And there's a bit to do with the human baseline. So those things are basically the priority that I'll be working on this week. And on a side note, for last 2-3 days, I mean, if people are bored or not bored, I can tell something in the end, but I've kind of figured out a way. So if, let's say, we have number of statement that measures some sort of attitude or personality, how can we actually start from there and get eventually to a mathematical model linking everything in a very stepwise fashion, which actually seems to be working. So I'll bore if people have free time with that. And that will be all. Tatavik.
Subodh, could I ask that you
Yeah.
connect with Ambuj on the causal RAG that he's building?
Okay.
I think you might get a kick out of that.
Okay.
And he needs help.
Okay.
Thank you, Subodh. Yeah.
Hi everyone. So for this week, I have made the following plans. We have some Upwork people working on certain shiny tasks. My goal is to make sure they finish their jobs this week. So I will have like long sessions with them and stuff like that. About the market share, I have a small issue or like a bug there, so we'll figure it out with Florian today. Other than that, starting today, the dashboard on the dev will start like acting weird because I'm gonna start pushing the market share stuff. So the old experiments are going to break. That's my goal for the week.
is there a way? I don't know how if this is possible, but is there some sort of interface we can build for analytics so that when we upgrade analytics, the old experiments don't break? I don't know how.
Yeah,
It's something that's easy to describe that might be very hard to do, but it's just a gentle nudge for that.
I think we have previously discussed this. So whenever I make changes to the analytics, whenever I push something to the rehoboam, the older experiment should be updated.
Oh, just rerun the old experiments straight up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, rerun the analytics from the old experiments.
Yeah, only the analytics. The void camp is fine.
Oh, that's sober. That's totally sober. Okay.
That's all on my side.
Right. So hi everyone. First of all, I am grateful that my exams are going well, and secondly, I plan to if possible, integrate the POC by integrating Hadi's and mine. After this stand-ups meet, we have a meet with Mardi sir, and so we will discuss about how to set it up so that we take in perspective the enterprise mode as well. So after that, we can possibly uh, see it in the development mode this week. So yeah, planning to do that this week.
That's gonna be huge. I was writing about that in the investor update. People are very excited about that.
Good work, Trishar. Let's push it to Atish.
I'm grateful for my family. I came to India. It's great to see them all. And as far as what I've done, I was investigating why the uniformed fates weren't showing up. And my investigation didn't really work because there were some updates in the back end after my stuff. And so I think it should work, but it's not. So I'm not really sure how to track that down. Uh, and otherwise, I worked on standardizing the population by requiring like a minimum amount of a certain trait level. That PR is out, and if I can't help for the uniform traits, I was gonna move on to the eval pipeline. Yeah.
The uniform thing is already in there when it works, Atish. So
Oh,
the
it
switch,
works.
yeah, the switch was you were taking everything from the Firebase, but we needed to take everything from the UI, right? Because depends upon what people select. So we modified your function to work, and it works actually. You can check and run an experiment in there.
Okay, cool. That's yeah. I couldn't find where it didn't work either, but
No, it
okay,
works.
that's awesome. Great, cool. Then yeah, I guess I'll move to the eval pipeline if there's that's all good. Yeah, that's all from me.
The
Sorry.
eval pipeline that's using weights and biases sweeps.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll probably have to. You said to take a course on it and kind of become an expert, I guess. So I was gonna take all those steps and then make it.
Well, Weave is there traces tool, right? Or Weave is their rag.
It's kind of murky. But I just remember like when I was like researching, my idea was basically to pull all the prior like human baselines that we've run, but just by tag. But like I'm not sure if like when we say pipeline, I guess what I mean is like I'm just pulling all the data we already have, compiling it into like one central source and throwing up some graphs to compare like the current run versus all the previous ones.
For human baselines?
Yeah. just so that like whenever you make a change, you can see how it's performing. I think
Yeah.
that was what. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say sit with Subodh on that to get some precise direction, because um, yeah, because I'm not entirely sure. I mean, take the course, but I'm not entirely sure that our current backend setup will work out of the box, because weights and biases requires, I believe, in order to optimize anything, or in order to do like our advanced reports, you need to have multiple runs per experiment, and our current setup only allows one run per experiment. So if you want to create human baselines with multiple runs per experiment, where we have a different LLM per run, and then run the human baseline across whatever a dozen different LLMs in the back end to get the Spearman R's and graph the Spearman R's and kind of build that type of report, we may need to change some things about the way human baselines are run. I'm 10% confident about any of this, but sync with Subodh and Mahdi just to make sure that they know what you're doing and agree with it, that it's valuable.
Okay, cool. And also that was like just the task I assumed I should do next. So yeah, I'm doing that assuming there's nothing more pressing. But yeah. Okay, let's sync up.
All right. Moving now over to Florian already gave his incredible speech. Let's go to Hadi.
For first of all, family, friends, had a good win. Then I fixed this one issue with populating the from inside the workspace. It was a issue blank, but when we create from experiment page, when the dot is not created, it one doesn't exist, and repopulate with the data. And if it's already there, it will move there and the persist storage.
Hardy,
And fix that. So this week,
Hardy, I think your voice is breaking, Hardy. You may want to write your update quickly, I think, in the chat. Or go and sit next to Mahdi. Up to you.
okay, can
Mahdi, give him some bandwidth, Mahdi.
Sharing is caring. Hadi, why don't we skip to Rupesh, and then we'll go back to you in case your internet gets better. So Rupesh.
Hi everyone, happy Monday. Um, I have worked on bug fixes for the attribute generation, and I also found some bugs for the attribute generation of the replicating experiment. I've worked on all those, and I have also considered implementing a validation for the attributes, like a new attribute generation on the front end. So once I'm done with the basic validation, then Subodh told like we can come up with a back-end validation for the new attribute generation. And after this stand-up, I'm gonna connect with the Subodh and Hadi to review the new approach that I came up with for the attributes. Yeah, that's pretty much about the task that I'm working with.
Is this integrating the work that Mohawk did for the React Flow stuff?
Not really, I think. It's a different thing. It's just about the attributes, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. See if you can salvage any of the React Flow work.
Okay, I'll cover it.
Beautiful. Thank you, Rupesh. And now let's go back to Hadi so he can finish what he started.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Hadi.
Yeah.
Say something, Hadi.
You hear me? Hello?
We
Yes.
can't hear you.
So let me short. I fixed one bug related to workspace from experiments page, and this week, well, for me it's like final, not a POC, but I'm facing some issue. But I will give my code to short to run if I think it's my internet that I get sometimes issue with the workspace that he run. If that's running smoothly, then we can that. Yeah, this week is to finish the work with collaborate workspace.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you so much, Hadi. Santi, quick question. Did you run your stand-up or are you the last one?
No, I did not. I changed position. I don't know why. No.
Got it. Go for it.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry, I want to start by saying sorry. I didn't know I was unmuted and I was struggling with the server, and that's why I say the F word. Sorry about that. I'm here for reaching out to Subalu. I believe it was you. Last time you mentioned about Jupyter the Jupyter Lab instance that you have like a template that you were going to share with me.
Right.
Was it you?
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah, it was you. Okay, great. Do we have it? Should we connect later?
I've been
Do
using.
you
Yeah,
want to handle
let's
it?
connect later. Yeah, we can populate the code. It won't take much.
Okay, yeah, because I need that so I can close the development project. Like
Okay.
that's kind of the last part on it. So yeah, waiting on you. But I will chat after this call with you and
Yeah.
let's arrange a meet.
Good afternoon, morning,
That will be
night,
all for
everybody.
from me. Thank you.
Wonderful. Any demos that we want to showcase? Any big questions? We have now 11 minutes in our stand-up, so we're ahead of schedule. It's great.
I have some.
I can show.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Abhi.
I was gonna say
I have just some graphs that I can show. My bad. I had some graphs that I could show. Yeah, the diagraphs that I can show. Should I just share my screen? So the idea why I'm building the graph representation of the DAG is so we can define a proper schema of how the data is represented before I can put it in my graph rack. So this was what I was trying to build, where we had the dependent variable, which is the purchase decision in the between, and we have attribute levels, which are the outer nodes, and each and every arrow would have the attribute and the AMC value. So I had some issues where I wanted to change the thickness of the arrow to represent the AMC level. So still I'm working on that, but I made a better representation where we could have the thickness of the AMC values in PyPlot. This not as it's not good in the sense of data visualization because it's kind of messed up, but here we can have put the thickness of the arrows to represent the AMC values. So if there are particular values that do not have an AMC value as 0, it's not connected to the central node. And here the thickness are presenting how strongly it affects the purchase decision. So yeah, this is my demo. Yeah.
Ambuj, in the earlier one, the one with yellow nodes.
Yeah.
Is there is there a possibility to move the nodes so that the arrows don't overlap?
Yeah, I think we can work on that. But the issue what I was having was specifically with representing the arrows as the AMCs. Well, let's say the thickness of the arrows or the length of the arrows could represent the AMCs. So that's something that I'm working on. And once I've got the schema right, I want to build the causal graph rack. So yeah. Yeah. Just give me 1 second.
Is there some way of doing something like this? Tell me if it's all just crazy. So let's say we have 8 attributes, right? You still here? Not here. Can you hear
Yeah,
me,
my
Ambuj?
bad, guys. There was someone at the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
You were
was just
saying
gonna
so?
say something. Tell me
Yep.
if it's all crazy. So let's say we have 8 attributes, which is mostly the upper limit at the moment. So if we take the whole circle, divide that into 8 quadrants, or not quadrant,
Okay.
like 8 small blocks, right? So 360 by 8, and then place each attribute into one of those blocks. So all the labels of that attribute stays there. So that way, like a single attribute and its corresponding labels stay like together. Is it possible to
Okay.
do that way?
Um, Let me check if I can implement that in Neo4j.
Mm,
Um, so right now what I did was just the outer nodes representing the attribute levels.
yeah.
And when you hover over the arrows or something, you'll get the attribute. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think with the generic one, I don't know. It could happen that an attribute one label is here and the other could be somewhere else. If we can sort of keep them intact together, then it's easy to visualize and it's meaningful. Otherwise, it's much more pain to read those diagrams than actually glean any information
Correct.
out of it.
Yeah. Okay, let me see if I can work on that. But yeah, I'll if I have some questions regarding that, I'll come back
Okay.
to you, Subho.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks.
Nice work on that. And Ambuj, what is your objective with creating a DAG for each experiment?
The objective is that once a proper DAG has been constructed, we could implement a graph RAG that could have better causal understanding of how the data is being represented. So yeah, it could give us much deeper insights. Yeah.
Beautiful. Nice work.
Yeah. Thanks.
Beautiful. Any additional demos, updates, high fives?
I have some data that I can share with the team. We want some data. Hold on 1 second. Let's see if I can do this properly. Share. All right, so we're going to go through a couple of tabs here. This is the last 90 days. Most of these reports are last 90 days. So yeah, so keep that in mind for the scale here. Number of visitors. These are non-subconscious visitors. If we include subconscious visitors, it should be more or less a straight line. Yeah, it is more or less a straight line. So these are just non-subconscious people. So this is the beginning of a hockey stick. This is 30 weeklies. It's not bad, and we're working on more reporting to see how many experiments each person is running. If we can think of ways to get each individual visitor to run more than 1 or 2 experiments, if we can incentivize them or kind of prompt them or direct them to running a bunch of experiments, kind of explore a little bit more. Yeah.
I can fix that overnight.
Amazing.
Not letting them, not setting the limit at 2 experiments.
All right. Sure. Sold. Yeah, we should say which one of these are paid users. That's a good point. But even paid users, right? How do we incentivize paid users to explore the graph a little bit deeper? But okay, so that's one piece of data. Number two, NPS score. Our NPS score for non-subconscious people is 100. Yeah, this is a fantasy. First of all, our NPS shows up at the beginning of running an experiment. It's still not showing up at the end of the experiment, which is a little bit weird. Although the results we're getting seem to be strong. The highest NPS score of any product in the world is a Tesla Model S or the Roadster with like a 72 NPS. So the fact that we have 100 NPS is not real. I don't think we have 30% of our visitors are responding, which means that our visitors are hyper friendly. If we look over the last 180 days, we have an I love when the app was down, we were getting NPSs of 0. We have an 87 NPS. If we look at everyone over the last 6 months, we have a 92 NPS. These are all fantasies. These are fantasy numbers. They're good fantasy numbers, but they're fantasy numbers. As we start to get more or less friendly users, this will go down. But so far, so good, right? I mean, this is unheard of. Hadi, thank you for setting up the NPS monitor on our product. So whatever product you're building, people are into. This is people visiting our website. This is not visiting the app. This is the website. So this is the top of the funnel. Also 90 days, right? So the website traffic has been pretty much flat, which kind of makes sense because we're not really advertising the website. First visits are spiking or have been spiking. I'd like to figure out what this is associated with. These spikes of users, probably social media posts, 7-day actives, right? We have hundreds of 7-day actives. This is also a hockey stick, which is great. I don't know why, but nice job anyway, Sarah. Probably something you're doing. And then lastly, benchmarks. These are industry benchmarks. Make it a little fatter. Industry benchmarks in terms of decile of startups, and then how quickly they get to certain revenue thresholds. So time to reach 250K of ARR from first revenue. Now that we have our first revenue, this chart is starting to populate. I think we're between the top 25 and 10% of companies there. So we have 3 months to hit 250K of ARR, which means we have 3 months to get 20 customers paying $1,000 per month. If we do that, sky's the limit as far as next round and all of the wonderful things we can do. And then engineering. Last chart I have is from engineering. This is a burn up chart. We have almost 400 open tickets. We've closed about 200 open tickets. And 3 months ago, we had also 400 open tickets. And so if we're closing 200 tickets per quarter and we have 400 open tickets, we probably have about 2 quarters of open tickets, which is about what you want as far as a roadmap goes in product management world. So good job there. All the metrics, as far as I can tell, say good job. So numbers don't lie.
Thank you, Avi.
Thank you, team.
Okay. Anyone else? Great. Everyone stay social. Everyone sees when they are social, by the way. So stay social, work in pairs. Let's level everyone's game. We hold ourselves and each other accountable. And then I really do think that we're hitting our inflection point. So this is a critical and frankly exciting time in this company's history. It's been years in the making, to be honest. So to be part of it is, I think, a tremendous privilege that we need to care for and continue to push. Thanks, guys. Great stand up.